Hello! Welcome to Redacted Tonight. This is the comedy show where Americans in America covering American news are called foreign agents. So, yes, I want wealth redistribution. There, I said it. I know it's the third rail, but I ain't running for so I get to speak the truth. Well, I am running for president of my neighborhood elementary school's PTA, but I'm pretty sure I'll win that easily since my campaign slogan is extend the school day to 20 hours because we don't want to have to deal with those little goddamn monsters. You take them. Well, I'll win as long as they don't find out I don't have a kid. Anyway, I want wealth redistribution. And here's the part that's going to blow your mind straight out your ass. It's time for wealth redistribution because we've already had it for decades. $50 trillion has been redistributed from the poorest Americans to the top 1%. The richest motherfuckers in the world have stolen trillions from average Americans over the past several decades. You know how mad you get when someone takes the last donut? Well, imagine that times 50 trillion. A new study has calculated that the cumulative tab for our 4-decade-long experiment in radical inequality has grown to over $47 trillion from 1975 through 2018. At the recent pace of about $2.5 trillion a year, that number is estimated to have crossed the $50 trillion mark in early 2020. Had income distribution and buying power remain the same as it was from the end of World War II to 1975, the aggregate annual income of Americans earning below the 90th percentile would have been $2.5 trillion higher, enough to more than double median income, enough to pay every single working American in the bottom 90% an additional $1,144 a month, every single year. Do you get it? The richest people in America are stealing over $1,100 from you personally and everyone you know every single month. And yet every time the most modest tax increases are proposed on the richest Americans, or every time someone so much as mumbles about putting in a public jungle gym for poor kids, or a filter to take out the metal chunks out of the water in the public fountain, or fix the holes in the bridges that are bigger than the ones in Maria Bartiromo's head, the elites of our society, who own the media outlets and the levers of the state and the law enforcement and the courts, they start screaming from their wine-soaked orgy balconies, that's wealth redistribution. That's class war. That's what they say. Let's hope they take a moment to withdraw from whoever they're currently orgying before they yell those things. Meanwhile, most so-called progressives tiptoe around the subject, going, well, we want to slightly increase the taxes on the giant swimming pools filled with money of the wealthiest people in the world. It would only impact people with over $20 billion, which is only a few people. We're sorry, Mr. Bossman, please forgive us, please. No, f that. I want true, full-on wealth redistribution. We're taking your shit and we're giving it back to the society that you stole it from. We're taking your cars and your marble statue and your own and your boats that park inside of other boats, and your wine cellars, and your emerald bathtubs filled with naked manservants, and your inbred, cross-eyed, ugly-ass dogs. But you can keep your children. We don't want those sociopaths in training. But other than that, we're taking your shit because this level of inequality is nuts. But how about this? I will give one caveat. We'll only steal everything over $10 million. It's estimated that there are about 1.4 million American households who have over $10 million. So that means what I'm proposing would impact less than 0.5% of Americans. The average American has never even met someone with over $10 million unless you shook Jim Carrey's hand one time on a sidewalk in New York. So we, the 99%, would take everything over $10 million from the people who have over $10 million. And we would give it out with the bottom 50% getting the vast majority of it. So 99.5% of Americans would benefit from this redistribution of wealth. Huh. I kind of like that, the 99%. That's kind of a cool expression. We should use that more often. So before you argue against this idea, remember, you benefit. You would get money under this situation. Because I promise there is no one with over $10 million watching this right now, unless one banker is like stuck in an airport in Morocco and can't change the channel. Do you need more numbers to get the point? The billionaires in this country have increased their wealth by $1.1 trillion just since the beginning of the pandemic. 1 out of every 3 people in America have had trouble paying their bills during this pandemic. Over 15 million people have lost their health care coverage since the beginning of this pandemic. Redistribute the goddamn wealth. And if you are the one person with over $10 million watching this right now, don't give me the horse shit about, I worked hard for that money. I earned that money. No, you didn't. You did not earn over $10 million. That's impossible. It's nonsense. It's madness. It's Gary Busey inside of Charlie Sheen inside of Ted Nugent. Back bullshit. There is no way on this planet that you worked 1,000 times harder than a janitor or a garbage man or a low-paid nurse or a busboy or a fluffer's second assistant fluffer, intern fluffer. And yes, that job has to blow. It's impossible that you worked 1,000 times more than those people. So you merely took advantage of a system that is set up to exploit the vast majority of the society while they don't even know what's happened. That's what you did. And yes, most of the Americans with over $10 million are sociopaths. They would kick a puppy down a flight of stairs into the teeth of a wool thresher if it meant they could make an extra $100. But I will acknowledge that not all of them are sociopaths. Some of them are relatively okay people inside a very, very corrupt system. So for the ones who are sociopaths, why should we feel bad for taking their wealth, over $10 million, redistributing it? They're sociopaths. They kick puppies, they get puppies. And then for the other ones who are not sociopaths but still have over $10 million, they're not going to suffer. At the end of the day, they still have $10 million goddamn dollars. It's not like they'll have to clothe their children in cardboard boxes with shirts and bow ties painted on the outside. So the next time someone says to you, you can't raise the taxes on the top 1%, that's class war. That's redistribution of wealth. Don't respond the way most squishy liberals respond. I don't know, I'm sorry. Instead, respond, you're goddamn right it is. I want redistribution of wealth. I want a nonviolent class war because it has been done to the rest of us for the past 50 years at least. We have been exploited and abused, beaten down and defeated, kicked and slapped and scratched and drained and sucked dry and extracted and even burgled. Oh, do I hate being burgled? And now is our time to fight back because this terrible machine that has allowed this level of exploitation. Screw this system that allows some people to have enough money to end world hunger and yet not do it, while other individuals sleep on a bench hoping no one steals their 1 box of cereal in the night. F that. And if you think saying f that is too harsh, then there's really something wrong in your head, okay? Where when you stick your finger in your ear, you should stop when you meet resistance. This is an abusive relationship, and it's time to get off the ride. Coming to you from Washington, D.C., the belly of the beast, this is Redacted Tonight.